afternoon, my darlings. It is Wednesday today, the 14th. Exactly 1 month to my baby going back to university. Oh, we're in the final pull of summer. And we're also heading towards a very wonderful time called Halloween and autumn, one of my favourite seasons of the year. I love autumn, even though I'm a spring baby, but my husband's an autumn baby, so I quite love the season of autumn. Now, today I've had the absolute pleasure of working while listening to the Stephen King book club. And if you're not aware of who this is, it's at Stephen King Book Club 1054. And I've had the very nice privilege of listening to something called The Long Walk. And this is a reporter's view of the novel. I've yet to listen to the audiobook of The Long Walk, but I have thoroughly enjoyed the Stephen King Book Club. And I would say you've got to give this channel a try. I actually didn't know it existed until Alan Aspinall told me about it. And I've been dipping in and out of it. I've done Pet Sematary. I have started on Desperation, but only done the first half. And The Long Walk, and to which I'm absolutely adoring The Long Walk. It's very much in the vein of Shirley Jackson's The Lottery, but far darker, obviously, because it is Stephen King. I absolutely adore Stephen King's work. Oh yes, I mustn't forget, I've also done The Stand, the one that the Stephen King Book Club did as a history project for what was the Captain Tripp's disease, the one that almost wiped out all of humanity. And let me tell you now, that is such a treat. That's the first one that I listened to. Actually listened to it while I had COVID. I can honestly say it certainly put things into perspective. I have been quite poorly this year has not been the best year for me. I've had a lot of dental problems, a lot of health problems, and then I've had COVID on top, which has just I haven't enjoyed it. I'm hoping that autumn and winter are far kinder than spring and summer of this year. I can honestly say it has not been easy. But anyway, getting back to the Stephen King Book Club. Through this gentleman, I have found that James Wan, who did The Conjuring, has redone Salem's Lot, to which that has piqued my interest, because who doesn't love a good vampire film? And I'm sure David Soul, God rest his soul, would be very pleased with the remake of Salem's Lot. And also I hear that Tommyknockers by James Wan has also been redone. I did love the TV miniseries that they did in the very early 90s, which is over 30 years ago. Say it quickly, it doesn't sound so bad. But I'm really looking forward to the Tommyknockers. One that I'd really be very interested in seeing if they did this as a remake would be the Langoliers, about the aeroplane that went through a time shift, a time cloud, a black hole, if you will, and wakes up in a alternate reality of they're the only ones that are there in that particular time and space, and everything else has disappeared. If you don't know about the Langoliers, do yourself a favour and get yourself that in an audiobook or even in a paperback and enjoy it, because it's it's different. It's an aeroplane disaster novel that's different. Instead of the plane crashing and everybody dying, the plane lands and everybody lives. I know, madness, but it is incredibly good story, and I absolutely love it. I love anything by Stephen. I really do. And the one thing I loved about the Stephen King book club, I went on a bit of a time skip, and listening to the reporter doing the long walk, to which I have to finish tonight because I'm hooked. I just think it's absolutely amazing. And when I've finished with everything that I have to do today, I'm going to sit down and listen to the ending of the long walk. I absolutely adore this, and I can't wait to be at work tomorrow to listen to the audiobook of The Long Walk. Um, one thing it's done for me as the Stephen King book club, it's been like a time skip. I feel like I did when I first got introduced to Stephen King all those years ago, which is a very long time ago because I was about 11 years old when I first got introduced to Stephen King. So let's count that back, shall we? It's nearly 40 years ago. Yeah, I'm 48 now. So 38, 28, 18. That's 30. Yeah, and go back another 40. Yeah, be about between 8 and 10 years old, actually, not 11. I've been 8 and 10 years old that I got introduced to Stephen King. Do you know what my first introduction to Stephen King was? At the around of the age of 8. Yeah, I know. Bet you can't guess. Involves children and a corn. Children of the Corn. I accidentally noticed that it was, yeah, accidentally noticed, yeah, you're 8 years old, of course you did. And it was in the Radio Times, and it was going to be premiered on the television that evening. And unbeknownst to my parents, I'd waited for them to go to bed because it was a midnight screening. Oh, it was. But it was just really late at night, and I sneaked downstairs and I watched it. And to tell a lie, it wasn't on the BBC because the BBC wouldn't have shown something like this. It was on ITV, and I'd have been about 10 years old when I saw this, not 8, 10 years old. So not quite 40 years. And I was absolutely hooked when I saw the main character, Malachi, and we know the preacher's boy. He wants you too, Malachi. I can even hear the voice in my head. And what's the other one called? I want to say Ichabod. You'll have to. It's a while since I've seen this film, but I just remember. I'm gonna have to Google that now. It's gonna bother me. Um, there we are. Children. Children of the Corn, Stephen King. Oh gosh, I didn't even realise that The Long Walk was published in 1979. Let me think. I'm 4 years old. Wow. You see, Stephen King has been in my life all of my life. I don't know of a day that I haven't had Stephen here. And at 48, I count myself as incredibly lucky that he's still with us. Please don't drop dead now, Mr. King. I will be absolutely devastated. Let's see. Malachi was played by Courtney Gaines, and John Franklin. Oh, he was the scary preacher's boy, Isaac Kroner. That's it, Isaac Kroner. Isaac and Malachi. Oh, those two kids. Right, I kid you not. I was absolutely hooked. I thought Children of the Corn was the coolest thing ever. All those adults in the restaurant that were drinking the coffee that was laced with poison, and the ones that didn't drink it were all caught with the sickle and straight across. I mean, for a very young, impressionable mind, I can honestly say seeing adults oft in such splendor. And you think your 10-year-old mind's thinking, wouldn't that be just fantastic if you could get away with it? Speaking as an adult now, I hope that never happens. You see, Stephen, you are you bring so much joy to my soul. You truly, truly do. And I thoroughly enjoy your novels. I really do. But I am absolutely looking forward to The Long Walk as a movie. I didn't realise it came out in 79, so this is going to be excellent and absolutely joyous all round. But I'm going to be listening to the end of Long Walk tonight. So I will give a verdict on that tomorrow morning. But anyway, if you haven't heard of the Stephen King Book Club, I will post a link below. And on that note, my darlings, I'm afraid I'm having to go today because it's quite a busy day. I just wanted to pop on and tell you what it is that I've been up to. So take care, my darlings. Happy reading. I hope you're actually reading some Stephen King. And I'll join you tomorrow. Take care. Bye bye.